Hey, gotta get a little Marvin in there.
Talk to me. You can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on?
What? Man, talk today. We got Mr. Marvin Gaye in the house. Hey man, Marvin was that dude, man. I don't care what nobody. Marvin was that dude. I can go back and listen to old Marvin, man. But all right, here we go. All right. So we've been, first of all, it's Man Talk Mondays.
Man Talk Monday.
Man Talk Mondays.
Man Talk Monday.
Where men are just talking about just issues. We talk about relationships, politics, current events, the whole nine. Where we come from a man's perspective. We just talking. But we definitely love for people to chime in with us. You can go to Facebook and you can make comments, join in the conversation with us. We are looking at the comments and checking. So by all means, you know, share your thoughts and feelings with us as we have our discussion. So we want to make sure we put that out there for everybody. So y'all know that y'all not just listen to us talk. We are listening to you too. All right. So we want to make sure we let y'all know that.
And remember, guys, we're just talking.
We just talking. Amanda Hamilton said, hey, Amanda, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Amanda.
All right. So what we talking about tonight? All right. We're talking about thinking of a master plan. I should have had that Eric B. Rakim. You know, should have hit him with that Eric B. Rakim. Thinking of a master plan. Where do we go from here? Right. So we got all of the things that's been going on. George Floyd seemed to be the tipping point where people had enough, and the protests have happened, the rallies. I mean, just the whole nine. And it seems like, to a certain extent, people are listening to the Black community, at least for now. At least for now. You got corporations. I got the corporation I work for. They have a weekly call, and you got higher ups. I mean, senior VPs and top level sitting in on discussions about racism, the whole nine. And, you know, so if people are listening, I don't know, what do we have a plan? What's the, where do we go from here?
Well, first of all, I think what we need to make sure that this is not a fad. It's just not something that everybody's doing to kind of pacify us for the time being. Because it does seem like everybody is on the bandwagon. Everybody. And so if they're on the bandwagon, I want to make sure they're on the bandwagon because they're concerned, because they know they were wrong, they've ignored some things. They're looking at the man in the mirror and they don't like what they see. But if you're just doing it because pressure is coming from everywhere to get things right, that's not. I just want to make sure that everybody's genuine about what they're doing. Because if your heart is not genuine about what you're doing, this is going to be a fad to people, and we're going to be fighting the same way next month.
That's a great point. So, are we the flavor of the month? Is the protest and racism? Is it the flavor of the month right now?
So, if we were the flavor of the month, would we be chocolatey flavored? I got it here. And remember, we just talking.
Man, you got a point, because at some point people gonna stop marching. At some point, the rallies gonna stop, the protests are gonna stop. But do we even know where we're going from that point?
See, I think when there is something to be said when you got everybody trying to make change, trying to pacify you. It's something to be said. I think, and if I know I got people kind of catering to me, I think I may even take a step back and may even relax, because ultimately I just want it. We have to be certain that we don't just want people to know we're not putting up with it no more, when in our actuality we still putting up with it.
Mm. So let me ask you a question. Is it fair? Is it fair for us to expect people of other races to take us serious? Is it fair for us to expect them to change overnight when we didn't get here overnight?
No, I don't think it's fair, but I think people have because people tolerance. Okay, it's like this. When I would be in the store with my mama, she would say, "Okay, John, stop. John, stop. John."
Right.
And you'd be like, "Mama, what I do?"
Yeah.
I would just ask you, "Could I have some?" She'd be like, "No, my tolerance. I'm up to here with dealing with you."
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going on with Black America. We've had it up to here. Well, a lot of times when you up to here with something, you don't often think clearly. You're just so ready to be heard. Ooh, if I could just tell you what's been on my mind, I'm sick of you this, and you that, and you this, and your uncle, and your cousin, and you had all your teeth. All that.
Right.
And I think that's good. I think that's good to get that off your chest. But when you do get it off your chest, you have to have more than just, because listen, it's not enough. It's not enough for white America to take us serious if as Black people we don't take ourselves serious. You heard what I said. You heard it.
Let's see. Salita said, "This is what's happening. Corporations are doing just enough to pacify us for the moment, to cause us to drift back into our moment of sleep. Stay woke." Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So see, you think we're gonna get rolled back into another? So what? Hold on. But what does sleep look like for us? What does that even look like? How do we even know we sleep?
Sleep looks like me telling you something. Hey, things are going to get better. Me believing you. Now, this is the catch. This is the catch there. But I'm not doing anything about it. I'm waiting for you to make changes. That's sleep. That's sleep. That's sleep, sir.
Great definition. Great definition. Sleep is waiting on change to happen other places and not where it really needs to happen. Is that what we're saying?
Listen. Let me stop this. Yes, people are wrong. People are wrong. People are wrong. White America. Everybody who's seen racism, who's ignored it, who's winked at it, who act like it didn't occur, who act like, oh, all lives matter. You wrong and you're a dog. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a dog and you're wrong. But we have to do something. Again, and I talk about this all the time. When I say we have to take our city back, we have to start policing ourselves. I'm simply saying when education becomes important to us, and not just in Plano, but in Dallas,
wow,
then we can see some things happening. Listen, I am from, so before y'all get ready, working there, I'm from South Oak Cliff. I am Oak Cliff, okay? As a matter of fact,
get ready to throw them. So
I'm telling you now, I'm from South Oak Cliff. As a matter of fact, I was born in South Dallas, went to elementary school in West Dallas, and graduated to Oak Cliff. So we was not the Jeffersons. So I don't want you even thinking like that. So I understand.
Right.
But I also understand what it means to crawl yourself out and make education primary. Man, we so busy chasing money or chasing something that we don't think education is important for our kids. And we'll get mad at somebody if they talked about how illiterate we are when it comes to our young people, when it comes to our inner city. That's why crime is so bad. That's why the policing is so bad over there. Because them.
Where you go? Anthony Harris says sleep is not doing anything. So when we not active, when we not.
Well, you do enough. Not, okay. This the thing. People want me not to go to my job to make a living. They want me to boycott. They don't want me to play pro ball. They don't want me to play football, basketball, nothing. They want me to sit out. But yet fathers not in the homes because y'all sold out for food stamps. But yet you want me to stop and pick it and not do this or that for the cause. Well, when are we as a people gonna stop selling our soul for food stamps? For that little card. For that, when we gonna stop doing that?
Selling our soul for food stamps?
Soul, brother, for food stamps. And you can't even buy certain things with the food stamp. That's what really upset me. I could understand if you could buy some of everything, but you can't even buy everything with food stamp. Listen.
So are you saying that welfare is a win for Black people?
Listen, before I say this, remember, y'all, remember, we just talking. But yes, man. Listen.
Wow.
If they offer you more money for your man not to be in the house, and you take it, that child in that house needs that man there. That child there needs to help so that things run, so the household can run somewhat like it's supposed to. That dad needs to be there so you can go to PTA meetings to see what's going on at the schools. That dad needs to be in the house just so the things can somewhat operate like they need, like they're supposed to.
Anthony Harris called it hush money. He said, "Well, if I'm understanding you right, Anthony, you saying that the welfare is hush money."
Man, listen, I'm just saying. Everybody has a decision to make. You selling out for something. Listen, the hood, and the men not in the hood for a reason. You can't tell me. Let me understand this. How is everybody in the hood ain't a side piece? How these women where all the men? Everybody in the hood is not a side piece.
Yeah.
What the dudes? Somebody tell me where the pappy at? Where the baby pappy at? Where the pappy? Somebody tell me.
So when we're talking about where do we go from here? We need a solid plan to you know what I'm saying? Because a protest is just an objection. But you make an objection, you get the floor. But now that you get the floor, what are you trying to say? And I think what we're trying to say, we relegate it to being verbal. And I think there's another communication that needs to happen beyond the verbal is I can show you better than I can tell you. And is that really happening? Are we really showing people?
Because it's one thing for you to give me something and not feel like I really don't deserve it. It's another thing for you to give me an opportunity to do something and you are flabbergasted because how well I prepared and how well I can do the job. Yeah. I believe of the majority of us just want somebody to give us something. Now, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me, but let me explain why.
Okay.
Because if not, we wouldn't need welfare. If not, we wouldn't be so easily selling our souls. If not, right now we have America listening to us. Had nobody said nothing, had nobody even looked at the kids at school, had nobody even thought about the school, nobody even thought about nothing. Why hadn't somebody came up with a better way to educate our kids? Why? Our Black kids. Why?
Now I'm gonna say this. My wife works in the school system, and I remember going to her school one time, and I'm up there. It was after school, and this was the time where the PTA meeting was getting ready to take place. And so they in the cafeteria, they congregate in the cafeteria, and all the parents are starting to get in there. And I looked inside the cafeteria, and honestly, whether I missed it or not, I did not see one black face. Now I'm gonna tell you what, my wife teaches in quote unquote the hood, right? She took what they call Title I. She's at a Title I school where we know what that means. But
what that mean?
It's low income. Where my wife works, there's a project on one side, there's a shelter for battered women and children on the other side, and you got a few houses in there. And it's amazing how she says she can tell how education happens based on the kids that actually live in the neighborhood, that live in a house in the neighborhood. But she said, as far as if you're dealing with, especially people at the battered women and children's shelter, she's gotten new kids all the way up to the last day of school because there's no stability. But that's a whole nother thing. But looked in the PTA meeting, did not see one black person in there. Nothing but Hispanic people. The Hispanics showed up. They're there. They want to know what their kids are doing. They want to know all this stuff. But I promise, I did not see one black face. It was a PTA meeting, not one black face in there.
If we was giving out food or we was giving something to them for nothing, they would beat her. Those black people would beat her, man. You know, man. And this, wait, let me say this.
Okay,
remember, I'm gonna say this. Y'all remember, we just talking. Why we act so lazy when it comes to saying about our kids in this education thing? Because if somebody call you black and lazy, you gonna want to pull your pistol and shoot somebody. So let me say this: I ain't calling you lazy. I'm just simply saying, why you acting lazy? I ain't saying you was lazy. I just want to say, why you acting lazy? You know, it's funny. We can be so passionate about equal rights and so passionate about the police and so passionate about everything that have to do with how somebody is treating us. But the way we do a disservice to ourselves because we do not put an emphasis on education like we should when it comes to our kids. Let me tell you a story. My daughter went to school. My daughter went to Stephen F. Austin, right? So when she first went, I was like, baby, I want you to make daddy proud. I want you on the dean's list. And I want you to achieve heights higher than anybody can.
Right.
She said, okay. So the first semester, she came back, she was on academic probation. I said, wait a minute, that ain't what we're supposed to be doing. 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 Right. So she get her act together. Then she come back. She get her act together, she passed the class. The next year, I say, baby, you don't have to make the dean's list, but can we get a honor roll at least? You ain't college, show everybody. She looked at me and she said, Dad, okay. Academic probation, second time. I said, what?
Oh.
So after she got off academic probation, you know what I said? Can you just graduate? Can you just graduate? I don't even want you on no list no more. I don't want you on nobody. Don't nobody call me. Can I just get you to graduate? And I'm saying all this to say, I think sometimes it takes because one thing about kids in education, the kids aren't the only thing at school. You have to be just as active at home as the kids are in school, and you gotta feel like it. You gotta feel like it all the time. And that's the problem. Most time we don't feel like it. I ain't saying you're lazy. I ain't saying you're lazy. The L word ain't even came up. I'm just simply saying, one might say.
Okay. So education. We need to put a focus on education. That's what you said, right? We need to put a focus on education because ignorance is a form of control. If I want to control you, I will keep you ignorant, right? People say, and I didn't say this.
Who said it?
I don't know who said it, but I didn't say it. But they said, if you ever want to hide anything from a black person, put it in the book. I didn't say it, but it was said. If you ever want to hide anything from a black person, put it in the book. Is that statement, does it have any truth to it?
You know the funny thing about that, D, because when you said that, I kind of got mad when I heard that.
Right.
But then I thought, when was the last time I was reading like I was supposed to? When was the last time I made my kids read like they were supposed to? Well, and granted, let me see. I don't want to lie. We're not going to talk about my kids. So, but I'm simply saying that if we sleep, that's a great word. We sleep when it comes.
Yeah.
Going back. Sleep. Yes. And so sleeping, okay, which is good. What are we going to do? If we would take some responsibility for some of the things that are going on, it will be easier for us to see some of the places where we fall short. But because we don't want to take in responsibility and we want to put it on somebody else, that's why it's hard to see. It's hard to see when you got blinders on. It's hard to see when you got blinders on.
Yeah. So we're saying sleep is illiteracy.
I believe. If you educate the kids and open up their minds to different things, where they can be lawyers, doctors, politicians, judges, where they can be some of these things, rather than having them scared of the police, they can say, how about growing up saying, I'm going to affect change with the police? You know where that come out of? You know where that come out the hood? You know where that come out the hood?
No.
And I've been in the hood. Matter of fact, I was the hood. I never heard that.
So sleep is illiteracy. So we're talking about staying woke. How do they lull us back to sleep? We're not reading, we sleep, right? Ignorance is a form of control. If I want to control you, all I got to do is control your learning, which is what they said why it was illegal. It was illegal. At one time, the law was that slaves are not supposed to be reading. Reading could get you killed. But now the law is removed, and where is the desire to grab?
Anthony Harris, he said, we need the opportunities. True. I can't argue with that. But I'm gonna say this. When we were trying to find colleges for my daughter, Harvard and Princeton were exclusively looking for students in the hood to give them a free ride for 4 years. They were looking. This is something that my understanding is that they do often. But what happens is they can't really find anybody. They can't. Now I'm not. Well, let me say this. I'm not saying there aren't any exceptional kids in the hood. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But there aren't enough of them, because listen. One of the things I really believe, man, if we do the things that we're supposed to do, opportunities will present themselves. I just fail to believe that you're doing what you're supposed to do and you stuck like Chuck because the opportunity not coming.
Well, let me say this. Let me go here because you got affirmative action. Affirmative action was put in place because opportunities were being withheld. And you had somebody who was qualified, but they could be excluded because of the color of their skin. But now you have a law in place that says you can't exclude them. But on the flip side of that, now when you you get the opportunity, somebody makes you feel like you still not qualified because you were just put in because you black or you're a person of color. So even that victory that you kind of felt for getting in there, they snatch it away from you like that. And that's the thing that bothers me is when still the majority, any win that you get, they still make you feel like I gave it to you regardless. I don't know how that doesn't sit well with me.
But why are we so concerned about how it makes us feel? Because if you maneuver and do things like you're supposed to, you have the last laugh. But the problem is we want to laugh now. We want to do it now. We don't want to pay the price for it. Now again, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm simply saying, we got people saying opportunities. We don't have opportunities. It's not clear. White. What they said? What somebody said? White. What was it? The whites.
Samuel Velasquez's opportunity is not given the same.
He also said
you can clearly see
the curriculum is way too whitewashed.
He said it's
so.
Is it
so? So, what would you like me to do with the curriculum, sir? You want me to add more slang to it? Because in corporate America is whitewashed. The politics is whitewashed. What exactly would you like me to do to make it more comfortable for you, sir? Because when they get out of school and we done change it up for you, this is the world you have to live in. This is the world you have to adjust to. So I can adjust to you now and make it to where you can pass. But when you get done, the whitewash, that's the world we got to go play the game in. So
let me say this. I've taken a peek behind the curtain, and the wizard is not as fearful. He's not as as he's made to seem. Where it looks like our counterparts have it together, they really don't. They don't have it figured out no more than anybody else. They just have the foothold when it comes to the opportunities. And I will say this, I keep telling people, white privilege has done more damage to this country than anything else because it kills competition. Competition makes the best rise. It makes the top level, you know what I'm saying? When I got to compete, then I got to put my best foot forward. But if I can get in places without having to put my best foot forward, it now begins to drop the standard of what's actually the best. Don't you get what I'm saying? I do,
but I think, okay, so if there's a competition for something and you lose, now, because competition means there's going to be, let's say 5 people trying to get the job. Mm-hmm. Let's say 2 of them black, 3 of them white. I think competition is good, but what happens if you don't get the job? Do we say, I'm gonna create an avenue for myself? Or do we go back and say, see, it ain't fair, man. See, I knew I should have got that job, man. Help me. Somebody help me.
I'm so glad you said that because I was just thinking that. Because we have been limited in our thinking to think that this is the avenue we have to take. Take Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was getting ready to go into the NFL. He fast. He's black guy. And he kept telling them, I'm a quarterback. No, you're a receiver. We didn't put you a receiver or something. He said, no, I'm a quarterback. He stood on that. But what were they trying to tell Lamar? Lamar gets in. He does a quarterback like everybody expects a quarterback to quarterback. But he gets the job done. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, what was the big problem with Lamar Jackson? Was it that he didn't quarterback the way traditionally quarterbacks quarterback? Is that even necessary when he can still get the job done? But the avenue that's laid out, who says that we have to take that road to get there?
Are we comfortable enough in our abilities to say, if I can't do it my way, I'm not going to do it? Are we how many of us are comfortable enough? How many of us are Lamar Jackson or Prince? You know, because Prince, when they tried to sign him, he was like, nah, if I can't do it my way, I don't want to do it. How many of us are comfortable in that? How many of us, have mastered our crafts in a way to where we can dictate what we want and what we don't want?
Right.
How many of us have went over and over and practiced and studied and studied and studied? So when you take that bar exam or you in that hospital operating on somebody, you know that you read.
I want to make sure I get Doug's comment real quick.
Okay, hold on. Can we just tell Doug and Samuel we only got an hour show?
So Doug said the issue is that we accept their definition of affirmation and civil rights as a win instead of viewing it as something we demanded and took. The difference is they are not in control of the standards of my existence unless we give it to them. Me asking them for my rights is giving them a power they should not have.
Right.
So we give them the power by even acknowledging that particular point. Now, to another point, there were people who ventured out to make their own rules, so to speak. They made their own communities. They were thriving communities. Everybody's just learning about Tulsa within the last decade. Really, Tulsa is now really starting to come to the forefront. But now we're finding out there's like 5, 6, 7 other places that Blacks were thriving and the communities were destroyed by haters. Just gonna say they were destroyed by haters. So they were proving that it could be done. My thing is, let me thrive.
So wait, because you saying that like we not allowing you, like you don't have the chance to.
But what even makes somebody feel like they can just come in and just destroy what you built without consequence? Because that's the problem. Without consequence.
But they could back then. They could back then. Don't want to open their can.
You think they could now? Or, well, I'll do this because here's the thing. There's a thing called disengagement. If you try for so long and somebody just keeps throwing roadblocks at you, you become disengaged to the point to where you're like, man, I don't even see the point. Let's take voters. Everybody's been talking about get out and vote, get out and vote, get out and vote. Why don't people vote? Because you have people in politics, you have officials that sit at the highest level who make laws that they would not abide by. They don't abide by these laws. If we did a fraction of the things that they get away with, we would be locked up. But
you know what?
That's disengaged because it's like, why do I even try? If every effort that I make, somebody gonna pull my strings and destroy something I did.
I saw this stuff then. I thought this was really good.
Go ahead.
And so for those of you who have seen it, I knew it, but I hadn't really thought about it like this. The only election that we care about is the president election.
Speak on it.
We don't care about Congress and House of Representatives, all that. We don't care about that. And those are the people that make all the laws. That's where the laws and stuff come from. We don't pay no attention to that. You know why we don't pay no attention to that? Because somewhere down the line, someone that said, "Oh, it don't really matter. You can't do. We can't change that anyway," and it snowballs from there. But the laws are made then. They're not made every 4 years. The laws, if we will begin to take back our communities, we could get corrupt judges and politicians out of our communities. We could vote them out. But enough of us don't turn out for for those things. We only turn out for the president.
Okay, now keep going. I'm trying to adjust something real quick because
okay,
what you saying, we talk about staying woke.
Yeah.
Sleep is not paying attention to local elections.
Yes. Oh, doing what you've always done. Because and this is the thing. So we have to be careful when we say sleep. What if you fall back into what you've been doing, what you have done in the past to get you here, you probably sleep. You probably just sleepwalking and don't know it.
Yeah.
But again, listen, we have to be more visible when it comes to government. Oh my, when it comes to school and voting, we won't do. You can't make us do schools and what is it about school and voting?
You know what? I don't think a lot of people realize that the voters' right bill was something that the federal government had to do because at the local level they were making laws that were prohibiting people from voting. That was happening at the local level, and the federal government had to override. That's how it came in. But the local level is where these types of things are really, really happening. So we really got to pay attention to what's happening in our cities, in our states, and at those levels, we need to really start paying more attention.
So Selena said that we don't pay attention to that because of the lack of education. Okay, we don't know who makes the laws. Why? We don't know. Is this going back to wait? Is this going back to the education thing again?
I gotta check with my source here. How much do they actually teach what we call civics in schools? How much they don't teach it? Everything is about passing a standardized test.
That's what it's about now.
That's what. But what happened to civics? Social studies, civics, those types of things. There's no emphasis really put on those anymore. Everything is about math and reading, which is basically the test. That's basically the test. So how would they actually learn these? If we relying on schools for education. I'm not saying schools are the only source of education, but if we're gonna rely on schools for education, how is it gonna happen if they're not teaching these types of things?
Well, if the school's not gonna educate them, then who's supposed to educate them? Because I done sold daddy for food stamps. So who gonna educate? Who gonna do it?
Did you say I sold daddy for food?
I done sold daddy for food stamps. And remember, guys, we just talking. He ain't there. He's not there. You know, let me say this, man. Let me be the first one to say this. It hurts me. I am so serious to hear the rate that black men are in the homes. It is an anomaly when I tell people how long me and my wife have been married, and I don't have any kids out of wedlock. That is crazy. That is crazy. I know I came up in a single family household. I understood the struggle that went on in there. I understood the sacrifice that we had to make. Yeah. There was no way I was going to do that to nobody else. There was no that, but that's just me and my personal thing.
Let's go to. We had a little clip we wanted to kind of dive into real quick. So we want to do that real quick. So this is Candace Owens in a debate. She was debating with T.I., but this is something that she said that simply struck a chord with me, and I think it struck a chord with John as well.
Component, and this is the biggest issue I think is facing Black America today, which was important to maintaining the plantations, was the breakdown of family. The biggest issue facing Black America is father absence. We have children that are growing up without their fathers in the home, and that is being incentivized by the government right now via the welfare system. When the government says we'll give you more money if you don't marry the father of your children, you are incentivizing bad behavior in our community. What happens when you remove a father from the home? This is why I do not mess with feminism at all. I'm not with it. This breakdown and mocking masculinity, making it seem like there's something wrong to be a man, all of this contributes to the breakdown of family.
All right, we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna stop right there. Now, this is Candace Owens. We know Candace Owens. She said some things about George Floyd and had everybody in the uproar. But I can't refute everything the young lady says because she was absolutely, to me, she's absolutely right.
Whoa. You said you can't refute everything she just said, or you have to admit that everything she said was right?
I think everything she says, period. I mean, just overall.
Yeah, okay.
Some things about George Floyd, I mean, she got that completely wrong. But this right here, I think she was right. I think she was right at this. And I think you alluded to it earlier about the presence of men being in the home. You just said you sold him for some food stamps.
How it?
That's what John said. Y'all women on welfare sold y'all husband for some food stamps.
And how is Samuel saying that that's a 1980 point of view? Really? That. So wait. So
that's a 1980s point of view.
Can I please let me
go ahead.
So did we start staying with the women after 1980? Did we start staying with them after 2000? Or is that still going on today? Now it may be a 1980 point of view, but it's still relevant today. So if it's a 1980 point of view, why didn't somebody say, you know what? I need to say it. I need to get married, sit myself down somewhere, get married, get educated, take care of my kids or something. But we still doing the same things today. And the problem with Candace, let me say this about Candace Owens. Candace Owens has almost 15, 20 million followers.
Right.
I do not agree with everything that she says. But let me say this. We will dispute what Candace Owens is saying because we don't like her and some of the things she said. Go ahead. What?
To your point, because this was happening at a summit. There was a guy in the audience who was shouting at her, kept shouting at her, and they had to kind of stop everything to calm him down. But Killer Mike has been the voice that these people have actually listened to. And Killer Mike said, hey, you got to respect the sister. He said, she's saying the exact same things that Minister Farrakhan has been saying for the last 25 years. Now, who we going to listen to? If we keep shooting the messenger, is the message ever going to get through?
No, because we want the message with sugar and butter on it. We want it nice and sweet. I am so serious. When Jay-Z did the 444 album,
he called flat.
Oh my God, that was the greatest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, what? He 50. That's how a 50-year-old supposed to talk. You're supposed to talk like you're in your 20s. You're supposed to talk like that. What's so great about that? You're supposed to be buying and selling at 50.
So you just brought up a great point, because I've had a conversation with one of my partners earlier today, and I said, you know what? If we could marry the wisdom of older people,
absolutely,
with the energy of young people, we would kill the game. But there is such a disconnect between the older and the younger. They don't want to listen to us. We think they stupid. But if we could come together and bring that wisdom and that energy together, man, there is nothing we could not accomplish. We need to figure, and I keep saying, we need to bring back the elders. There are no elders in the community anymore. There's no guys that we can look at in the community and say, hey, I want to be like that guy. It means that I want to be exactly like him, but I want to reach a level that this guy has reached. I want to have the respect in the community that this guy has, a well-founded respect, not,
Can I just have to. Brother Patrick says, bring on
Patrick says, bring on Minister Farrakhan. Stop giving platforms to people for great sound bites who don't care about you.
So Patrick thinks that Minister Farrakhan cares about him.
Oh,
because he don't. All of them have an agenda. All of them have an agenda, and if you're not gonna find out what the agenda is, stop co-signing for him, because you don't know what his agenda is, obviously. And remember, guys, before y'all get heated, who is talking? Yeah.
So Selena said Candace Owens has been so backwards, controversial in her views and things that she says that when she actually says something that is valid and has truth, no one is listening. That is why we need leadership in the Black community. I agree. We need leadership that we can look up to and have a respect and have a, not necessarily admiration, but we take their words to heart. I always tell a true mark of maturity. A true mark of maturity is when you can take the message and discount and don't worry about the message. If you got to be so worried about the messenger that you don't receive the message, that is immaturity. If you cheating on your wife and some dude that you know is the biggest hoe in town and come say, man, you know you should be cheating on your wife. You know he just told you something that was true. But you look at him like, man, how you gonna tell me? Did he say anything wrong though? So a mature person says, you know what? You're right. You're right. So let me go ahead and do some correcting, because regardless of who you are, you're right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to get into this thing with Patrick.
I get his frustration. I get the frustration.
I do not. I don't get it.
So we would have to say that everybody gets it. And I think to look at a Candace Owens, if you want people to take you seriously, they can't take you seriously in moments. You gotta have a track record that says, go ahead.
Just let me say this, D. I'm sorry, but I gotta say this. Okay. First of all, I'm not a fool, okay? Contrary to what you may think, I understand the platform that Candace Owens was on is the reason why she talked the way she did. I have heard her on other platforms talk a completely different way. That still does not discount what she said. Now, Patrick says Minister Farrakhan has for decades spoke up for African Americans. That's not what you said. You said that he cared about you, is what you said. Then if Minister Farrakhan cared about you, I'm not going. But it's not his responsibility to see about us. It's our responsibility. So I'm not going to put that on him. But I'm just curious, if we're not calling you the Honorable Patrick Dwayne Stewart of the Nation of Islam, why you? Yeah, he has some nice speeches, but that's about it. So we still got to figure out who we are.
All right. So here's the thing. People are saying we won't change. But have we even defined the change? How do we actually want things to change? Have we ever sat down and actually looked at it and said, these are the things, these are the points of change that we want to happen?
No, we generalize it. Can we just stop getting shot and killed? If we just stop getting shot by the police, can we start there? And I'm with you. Let's start there by police reform. And while they have police reform, we need to huddle up, do a quick huddle, and say, okay, all right, they going back and doing police reform. What we gonna do now? Because again, you can't never go wrong. You know, man, this is the thing. As much as I don't agree with the LGBTQ, now as much as I don't agree with it, hey man, though they own it. They own it.
They got strategy for days, brother. They got strategy for days.
And listen to me.
You can't knock them on that. They got strategy for days, brother. They made it the way you can't fire them. They got job security backed by the government.
They got. I bet you this. I bet education was first because they in key positions. They are in key, and you don't get in key positions without having education, without being at least available to be in those positions, man. Again, guys, educate. We got to make education more of a key. We got to start educating ourselves about what's going on around us, what's happening to us. If we don't, because everybody to a man hates the laws. Okay, so what we gonna do about it?
All right,
what we gonna do about it?
Carl said, totally disagree, fam. I believe that it's a big part of what's wrong, especially with the youth. You can't tell them or anyone not to do what you're doing. Absolutely right. You absolutely right. Now I totally agree. But that's why I said it's a mark of maturity to take the message despite the messenger. I don't expect young people to get it. Now, to your point, we got to actually start walking the talk. We got to make sure we're doing exactly what we're holding them to. Otherwise, that breeds disengagement. You wonder why kids don't want to listen to their parents? It's because the parents are saying, don't do as I do, do as I say. That don't fly with anybody. You got to be able to be the example of what you want to see out of them, because you got to model the behavior. You got to model what you want to see. My nephew came to live with me. He was 17 at the time. He saw me reading. He saw me with books in my hand. He saw me praying. He saw me read my Bible. He saw that. That inspired him. I didn't ever tell him, hey man, you need to crack up your Bible. I never said anything to him, but I was trying to get it for me. I was trying to get myself together, get myself right. And he saw it. And in him seeing it, it inspired him. He reads now. Now we can sit and have a conversation about books he read, books that I've read. We can have conversations about the Bible. We can have conversations about all types of things because he saw me doing it. But I wasn't doing it to say, I need to get him to do it. I was doing it because I needed it. And we need to really see what is it that we need personally, and are we really trying to make marks and make improvements on ourselves personally? We need to inspire the next generation to want change. And
I think Carl might have misunderstood something that I was saying earlier. I'm not blaming anything on the youth, because I ultimately believe that whatever they're not doing is our fault. I believe that. I believe we haven't did a well enough job of setting examples, like you're saying. But I don't think but at some point we have to bridge the gap. We can talk about all day what's wrong, but I'm telling us we have to start as adults. Now, adults range from 18 to that age. We have to start being more educated about what's going on and what's happening to us. And as we become more educated, we then will get a seat at the table. But if you don't even know it's a table, how you gonna get a seat? You didn't even know they were having food. I understand. That's all I'm saying.
They get your invitation in the mail.
I'm just saying.
No, but you bring out a great point, because when it comes to things, when the conversation is being had on the world stage as to what needs to happen, African Americans are not invited to that conversation. I remember sitting in a room. It was like 200 professional people at my company, my corporation I work for, and it was a Black forum, and we were addressing, why don't we see more Blacks here, in corporate America? And I kept thinking to myself, I said, I'm looking at, 100 plus professionals, but yet and still we are exceptions when we should be the rule. We should be the rule. It should be the rule that Blacks achieve. It should be the rule that Blacks have intelligence. It should be the rule. Now, and it can't be a thing that we got to prove it to everybody else. We got to prove it to ourselves, because our young people have been fed that all you can do is sports and music. All you can do is dance. All you can do is the things that stereotypes have said we're able to do, when there are so many examples out there. But if we don't promote the examples, if we don't promote the people who are CEOs, the people who are VPs, the people who have their own business, they're successful entrepreneurs, if we don't, the inventors, oh my goodness, the inventors, if we don't put that out there, then they go around, they take the narrative that's been given to them. We got to give them a different narrative that they can follow, one that gives them a different pride about who they are.
There you go. Because if we start having more pride in ourselves and our race and who we are, man, you know what? That's how you bridge the gap between the youth. You give them something to be proud of. You give them, because it's difficult with everything that we see now. There's so much negativity things going on, but that could be a motivational thing, son. If we want things to change, this is what we have to do. And I'm not going to even blame the education thing on the school system. Man, we're not doing it. And like I said, and I hope I've said this right. We got to do a better job at home.
Yeah.
All the stuff that social media is doing could be used for fuel for motivation. Everything has clues, success and failures.
Yes.
What are we teaching our kids? What are we putting out there for them? Because listen, I may not be the best dad, but I got some friends of mine that are really good dads. And I can say, hey, I can aspire to be like them to be better. I'm so serious, man. We gotta do a better job of changing the narrative, man. Everything is about perspective.
So here's the thing. I try to get people to understand. If parents understood that they have the burden of teaching their kids, then they would read more. You can't teach somebody something you don't know. But if you can't rise above the level of the person that is leading.
You're right.
If I want my kids to go to the highest heights, I must first go.
So they can know that they can be done, because it's easier for them.
Be done. That doesn't mean that you're gonna be the richest person, but you can set a standard for work ethic. You can set a standard for educating yourself. You can set a standard for self-improvement that says, I gotta do this because I saw it. Where it's to them is second nature. This is just what we do. We read in my house. We cheat in my house. We do great things in my house. Not because we competing, because it's just in us to do it. But if more adults, let's say adults, period, they ain't got to be parents. If more adults understood that it's your burden to educate the next generation, then you would learn more. You would learn more. There is nothing more disheartening than going to your parent for information that you know they don't have. I remember I was in a state of my life where I wanted to connect with my dad, but I wanted him to teach me something. I went to him and he didn't have anything. He had nothing to give me, nothing to feed this appetite. I want to learn from you. I want to learn from somebody that I look up to. I want to learn from somebody that I know I should be absorbing from. Forget the teachers. Teachers come and go. You permanent. I want to get something from you that's going to change my life, going to change my complete way of thinking. And there was nothing he could give me. I felt so empty in that moment. How many kids are empty in their own homes because their parents are not trying to deposit things in them that will take them where that once they get to that next level, they even know how to operate.
Wow. No, but you're right. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because would we have taken education more serious if we knew what it was going to mean for our kids? Just think about that.
Wow.
Will we have taken it more serious when I have skipped class like I was doing and chasing them little girls? If I had known that my sons were going to have to pay the price for the stuff that I didn't learn, man, you know how and again, we need to change our way of thinking. We need to change some things. Some things aren't working for us like we thought they should have. So first, we have to admit that we were wrong. We were wrong about this. Our philosophy is broken. If we admit that, then we can adopt a new one. So now we can succeed. Yeah. And with that, Carl Givens.
Carl, I want to say Carl's family. I know Carl is an officer.
Because I want to talk to him about the Atlanta shooting thing.
So let's do this. Carl, I don't know your schedule, man. Let's see, because we at the end of the hour. If you got time next week, we would love to sit and talk with you about it. We can bring you on.
Wait. Is Carl a brother or a white dude?
Did I just say he family?
What that don't mean? That don't mean, that don't mean everybody family, man. We call everybody cousin.
Well, he's for real cousin. So Carl, if you have time next week, we can go into the shooting that happened in Atlanta. He said he would like to know what we think about what happened. So we at the end of the hour, we want to stay true to the hour. We want to just, want to stay honest about the time. But absolutely, we love to talk to you about it. Especially getting your perspective as an officer. We would love to get your perspective on it.
And I would give my perspective as not an officer.
He said, yes, sir. All right, so I get with you, cuz I get with you about it. And what we do every week, 7 o'clock, Man Talk Monday. This is the forum where we talk about the issues. And we didn't get a fourth of the way down the road to where we need to go.
Hey,
we still got a lot to dig into.
We think a lot, but again, it starts with us, man. It starts with us. It starts with us.
Yeah. So, with that being said, any final words, Mr. Lewis?
Hey, man, I just want y'all to know that I love each and every one of you guys, and I wish prosperity over all your lives. But more importantly, man, let's get educated. Don't be afraid to say what you don't know and find out about it. I mean, because we don't know everything. I don't know everything. I know a lot, though, but I don't know everything.
So with that being said, there is definitely a momentum that has been building right now. And it's so easy to lose if we fall back to sleep. So let's get on our job to see how do we use this momentum to make the change happen that we really feel needs to happen. So let's have these conversations with our friends and family. Let's have these conversations with even, people that look like us, the Black community. Let's talk about it. So maybe we can come to a consensus about what needs to happen. So from house to house, we all on the same page.
There you go. Let's go half of that. There you go.
And then we can really see change truly happen. But that's it for Man Talk Monday. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. Next week, 7 o'clock, we'll be back. All right.
Y'all be blessed. All right, man. Y'all be blessed.